Welcome back to Heart of the Matter podcast. Hey, guys. I am your host, Sherry J, and my lovely co host, Melita. We are back live. Oh my God, for another awesome episode. This is actually episode 45. So, yes, y'all, we getting it. We getting up there. So if you are on, as always, please say hello to us. We want to know how you're doing. How's your day going? We just want to make sure everything's going smoothly with you. As always, this is Heart of the Matter podcast, where we discuss issues that matter most to your heart. So, a lot of our issues are usually sensitive. They are heart wrenching. They touch your heart. Touch on those issues, and not only do we discuss and talk about the social epidemics, the fatherless generation, and things like that, but we also provide a biblical conclusion or a biblical explanation to the issue because we know Christ is the foundation, but he's also the answer to everything that we got going on and every issue here. So, as you know, once more, again, we're going to be doing another touchy topic today, which was actually brought on by Melita. hmm So she actually gave us this topic because she sent me a video, and it was a really good video. We're just gonna jump right into it, but please say hello. Let me see who's on. Hey Linda. Hey Mama J. Let's see. Okay, I didn't see nobody else say hi, so y'all know y'all wrong for that. But no, we're gonna be jumping right in. So please share the live if you feel led to. Again, this is a topic which is very sensitive because so many people have dealt with suicide. So many people have lost loved ones to suicide, and so we understand how sensitive it can be. We're going to try to be as delicate as possible with the topic, and just bring some things to light, and discuss some things that you may have heard of, may have not heard of. But I'm going to play this video. This is the reason this topic was sparked because Melita came across this video, which was really touching. And I actually shared it on the page. But I don't know if anybody saw it. But hey, Whitney, good to see you or see you. Yeah, I'll just say see you. Let me go ahead and bring the video up now. Well, let me find it first. I don't hear. Okay, here it is right here. No. All right, 1 second, guys. Let me try to. Okay.
Knocking on a lady door, and she come out and just start snapping on us. Soon as she saw me and the guy, she was like, "Get off my property, whatever you're selling. I'm about to call the police. You do not." But she just snapped on us. You know what I'm saying? And I said like 2 or 3 things. I was like, "Well, I'm sorry to bother you, ma'am. Jesus didn't sell everybody. We're gonna see you around like a donut." So before she closed the door, she was like, "What did you say?" I was like, "Well, I'm sorry to bother you. Jesus didn't sell everybody. We're gonna see you around like a donut." And then she smiled and a tear dropped her eye. And she was like,
I don't know if I went too fast. Did y'all catch the beginning? Well, if you didn't, because this may have went too fast. He's just talking. He's a salesperson, and he's going door to door selling items, and he's just saying how he met a lady at the door, and she was kind of upset with him, but he made a joke and it kind of caught her attention. So yeah, just in case you didn't hear him.
"You know what?" She was like, "You a Christian?" I was like, "Yes, ma'am." She was like, "I apologize for the way I came off at you. Today just not my day. I wasn't looking to buy anything from a salesperson. I just got some bad news that I just lost my son in a car accident." And I was like, "Well, I'm sorry to hear that." Moment of silence for your son. And we just like did a little, like a moment of silence for it, you know what I'm saying? And then after we got done, we was really about to leave, you know what I'm saying? And then she was like, "So what are you out here doing?" I was like, "I thought you never asked." I was like, "We with a youth program. We out here selling this cleaner product. I'm training these guys how to do the right thing like Spike Lee. Thanks for not biting my head off." And then she just started laughing. She was like, "You know what? I like your attitude and you out here in the rain." She was like, "Do it clean carpet because I got this spot on my carpet." I was like, "Yes, ma'am." She's like, "If it clean this spot off my carpet, I'm gonna buy." So she let us come in the house. As we walking in her house, I see she had a gun on the table. And I'm like, "Well, don't shoot, man. We just the good guys." She was like, "No, no, no. Let me tell you, right before you knocked on my door, I got the bad news that my son died in a car accident and I was just about to blow my brains out." She was like, "But by your spirit and I end up not."
So it cut off right there, but he's pretty much saying that the lady who was about to commit suicide actually didn't commit suicide because He actually came with a great spirit. He was a Christian man and he had some humor. Um, and because of that, he saved somebody's life. In that small instance where she had a gun out, she was preparing to shoot her and take her own life at that moment because she heard her son died. It was by the grace of God that he knocked on that door, and we know it was just nothing but God, that he knocked on the door and he was able to prevent her from taking her life. So I think this video is important because it speaks to how we deal with people on a to day basis. It speaks to how we conduct our everyday lives. That we have to be mindful that we don't know where a person is. Like, we don't know mentally where a person is, how they're feeling. We don't know what they're going through, right? In any moment, we could do something or something could happen that would send them overboard. So this is why we ought to always try to live peaceably with all men, and not to be aggressive or just being belligerent and loud. And this is why you shouldn't do this, because you don't know what's on a person's mind. So Melita, you shared the video. Do you have anything or any of your thoughts you want to share about it?
um, it was what made me share it is because what made me think of it or present it is because it's on the rise. It's becoming a lot more prevalent these days. Seeing a lot more of it. It's becoming people are becoming comfortable doing it. It's becoming less and less of a taboo situation, and I just think that it's kind of going towards I wouldn't even say normalizing, but it's happening more and more. So it's growing, and for her to just be able to just hear the news and just take out the gun without a second, you know,
Oh,
it right. It was that same day, so back then, people would probably ponder on something like that first.
right.
She was about to do it without a second thought, so but the love of God, stopped her, and it just makes me feel grateful for God's mercy and his love, and he always comes in at the nick of time. If he knew that she didn't want to do that, and he knew that she wasn't, that she didn't want to do that, and that he could actually
Save them.
change it. Her heart, yeah, her heart was not hardened against his will, and her mind wasn't like, well, I'm doing this no matter what. Nobody can stop me.
Ready to
Nobody can,
receive it.
yeah, so I just think that's what kind of stood out to me. I was like, man, this is happening a lot.
It is. And we're gonna
It's
look at some statistics that you shared, and we pulled up, because there is a rise in suicide. We may not hear about it a lot. Well, we're hearing about it a lot, but I know me, I don't really watch the news because I don't care for like all the bad news that's there. So I don't really watch the news, but sometimes like on social media, I see a lot of different things that's going on, you know, and that's how I get my news, unfortunately. But yeah.
right.
So there is a rise of suicide, and I was shocked to see there's a rise even between 10 to 14-year-olds. I'm really shocked to hear that, because those are like the prime ages for our children that are going into puberty. They're becoming teenagers. They're, of course, struggling with themselves, transitioning into, almost adulthood. And even before they do that, their life is being cut short by suicide. So I was really surprised to see that number, and it also disheartened me to realize what's going on. That it's getting younger and younger, that people are killing themselves. Like, what's driving somebody 10 years old to take their life? Like, that's crazy. So we're gonna look at some statistics real quick before we jump into a couple more videos. Hey Mishi, please share the live out. So more people need to hear about this, because I know it's sensitive, but we need to talk about it. I don't really know many people who are discussing it, but it's so detrimental to talk about it. Did you put the I think it's like a hotline or so? Did you put that in the comments?
Um,
we're gonna pin that when she puts it there, because if you know somebody who's just going through, because like me, I had a friend who, was just playing with it. I mean, I don't know, but I'm gonna call the police, your mama, your daddy, your grandma. I'm calling everybody if you come to me saying, I'm really thinking I don't want to live. I don't want to be here. I'm not gonna take it as a game. So please, please don't come to me saying it's, because I take things like that very seriously. We're going to see why everybody should take it seriously. But let's look at some statistics real quick. Let's see here. All right. Okay, so this is one of them. All right. So first of all, if you don't know what suicide is, which most people I'm pretty sure knows what it is, but suicide is defined as death caused by self-directed injuries or injurious behavior with intent to die as a result of the behavior. So that's what suicide is, that you actually try to kill yourself by jumping off of a bridge, by, taking a gun, shooting yourself, some type of behavior you're doing to injure yourself purposely with the intent to unalive yourself. And then they have the suicide attempts, which people do those as well, and they're not successful. That's why it's called an attempt. So this here, and this is from the National Institute of Mental Health. It actually shows here that suicide is the leading cause. It says it right here of death in the United States. That's big. I mean, what do you guys think about this? We want to get you guys involved in it. I know this is a lot of information we're throwing out there, but what do you guys think about suicide? Do you know anybody who has committed suicide? Like what feelings were going through your head? Because to me, suicide would be different from someone just dying, even from somebody just dying from natural causes. Suicide would be much different. And then somebody even getting murdered or so, it still would be different, because it's almost like, it's an intentional death. So it's kind of, it would be, I think, even harder to take a suicide, knowing that maybe in the back of my mind, I could have helped this person. Oh, why didn't I talk to this person? Or why didn't they call me? So many unanswered questions, I believe, would be left on the table. If I was in this situation, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think, Melita?
No, I agree. I would have a lot of questions. I mean, I would have a lot of regret, a lot of hurt. I think with me, suicide and ODing used to just really hit my heart on a whole different level. It was just like a really devastating way for me to hear about somebody's death. And so,
yeah,
especially if it was somebody that I loved and cared about and knew, I would be wondering, like, man, did I miss the signs? Did I make them feel comfortable to talk to me? Did I just say, oh, give them a pep talk, and then think that was all that was needed? You know what I mean? So later on, I'll get to some signs you could look at and pay attention to, and just, some things that you could do to help.
So I guess I want to know, Mish. I know Mishi's on, Mirly's on. Hey, Mirly, what do you guys, how would you feel hypothetically if this happened? I don't know if this has happened to you, Whitney, or Mama J. If you guys have experienced this, or anybody experienced sudden suicide in your family, or a relative or close friend, family member, how would you take this if you were made aware that somebody committed suicide that was close to you? Like, how would you feel about it? So we want your thoughts to kind of digest this whole situation and this whole dialogue here. But we'll go back to this data here. So if we look, this is where I was looking at the groups. This was 2021 data by CDC, and it said from 10 to 14, we had suicide 598 in this group. Suicide. And then if you go up to 25 to 34, 8,000 in that age range are committing suicide. We also have another. I had Melita, you sent me this one, these demographics. Let's look here. These are the number of deaths due to suicide by firearm or other means. And if you can see the chart here, it kind of went down. And I noticed, look here, 2020 wasn't that COVID, right? The year of COVID.
Mm, yeah.
It's interesting enough, the deaths actually decreased during COVID.
I think that one part is that less time alone. It was more time with people in the same house together. So it was less, to me, time alone for a person to be able to do that. And and I think
Right.
that it was also a good chance that you wouldn't have to commit suicide. I
That
mean,
makes sense because you're with somebody else, so you're not by yourself. So that makes sense. But I'm like, I guess, and then you had to sit down. You're not working, things like that. So of course you
that's
wouldn't
much
be,
stress, right?
yeah, unnecessary. Sometimes the job is stressful, and so a lot of that was taken away. So yeah, and it says here, we have suicide deaths rates in 2021 were highest among American Indians and Native people, males, people who live in rural areas. And I wonder why that is because I thought those people are usually normally more happy because they have farms and different things like that. They're off the grid mainly. I don't know.
No,
We
no, they
no.
they they get a lot of they're really predominantly, like, they really are heavy in drugs, alcohol, depression, and all of that. Like, they are kind of like it started like it was a disease that was put onto them, and it continuing even now. So when it comes to like Native Americans and stuff,
Mhm.
yeah, so they are, yeah, no, they're continuing to kind of die off, actually.
You said the Native Americans.
Yeah. So they have it's a lot of drugs. Um, you know, yeah, a lot of drugs, a lot of depression, anxiety. They're just more quiet, it's just more quiet and unseen. But drugs, alcohol, and all of that was introduced to their, was pushed onto them, and it's a disease that travels down to the generations.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's definitely, of course, a generational thing that travels. Anytime we look at anything that's physical, it's always a spiritual part to it.
Of
But
course.
this is a source here from KFF. It's an independent source. So this is the suicide rates by race. So we have white, of course. They're pretty much at the
Mm.
2011. They were higher than everybody. But look, American Indians were actually higher than them. And then 2021, they jumped to 17.4. Whereas now, if we look at where Black people were, we were only at 5.5%. Then we jumped to 8.7 in 2021, which that's a 58% change. That's a huge change.
Right.
So, what's going on? Why are we having these numbers that's jumping up so high? And one
Mm.
reason I know about is because, again, we were talking about this earlier. We care about the things of the world. And most, sometimes if you don't know the Lord, you won't know that the Bible says to cast your cares upon him because he cares for you. Right. And then he says, be anxious for nothing, meaning don't worry about what tomorrow is going to hold or tomorrow is going to bring. Don't even worry about what you're going to put on to wear, what you're going to eat, because God, our Father, takes care of us. And a lot of times, some of that stress comes from just caring about the cares of the world, right? Being in the world and not of the world, which is me and Melita just talked about this. A lot of this is stemming from that because people are just stressed out because, life isn't going the way it's going. They want it to go. It's just lifing, and that's what happens. I see me. She said, I tried to commit suicide because she said it was because I was in a physical and mental abusive relationship. I really thought I wasn't good enough to be here. Oh my goodness. That too. We know that's a deep one. Oh my God.
Yeah. I definitely can understand that.
Mhm.
I once went through twice, just suicidal just thoughts. So I actually enrolled into the military because I wanted to die. So, I took out the biggest life insurance policy that I can think of. I mean, that they had available, almost $500,000. And I enlisted myself as a ammunition specialist. and it was right around the Iraqi, the war with Iraq and stuff like that. So, and maybe like 2006 or something like that. And so I went into there with a whole plan, and I started to carry it out. So, but then God, my mom, she was like, she didn't know what was going to happen because I got shipped out and everything. I'm in my uniform. I get my blood test and everything. And then come to find out, I'm like 3 days pregnant with my son, Emmanuel. So my mom get a call saying, I got to come back. So now she knows the plan, and she's seeing me carry this plan out. And she's like, okay, most of the time when you're gone in war, you're gone. So, I mean, not in war, but when you go, you go. And so, but by the power of God and his mercy, it was an intervention, and I came back. So I get what she's saying. It was not feeling like I had the power to get out of my situation, that it was only one way out. So I think when you're bound, and hopelessness, I think that in darkness, and loneliness and things like that, I think that not having anybody to talk to, not feeling understood, these type of things lead to suicide. Nobody speaking life into you. I was only getting negativity speak. You don't need to be, that's stupid, he's stupid, or she's stupid, they stupid. Everybody is saying on both sides, stop listening to them. You got your own mind, and this, you need to leave them alone. You got your own, so it was just a bunch of negativity getting thrown my way by both parties. But one did it for love, but trying to wake me up. But that wasn't what I needed.
So were you? I'm sorry, not to cut you off. Were you in an alternate lifestyle at that time, or this was no? Okay,
because I find that was the second time.
So the first. Okay, so because I do see a lot of times it's from alternate lifestyles, but that has a big thing to do with it, because your mind is split. Of course, one way you want to operate this way, you want to do the right thing, and then you want to live your truth or whatever. And so I see a lot. We're gonna watch a video about this happening with a young lady who you guys may recognize the story, who her girlfriend passed away, and after she passed away, she actually committed suicide because she couldn't take that her girlfriend was no longer living. So we're gonna watch that video in just 1 second. Just bits and parts of how the woman. Let's see. Linda said Regina King's son killed himself also. Really? She said, because I'm a mother of 7, the thought of anyone committing suicide is a sensitive matter for me. I've never experienced anyone that I know. I hate to even think about it, but I know it would take the power of God to get me through. Yeah, absolutely. It would, because I would have so many unanswered questions at that point. Angelina said, I made my first attempt when I was 8 years old to do physical and sexual abuse. I tried a few times until I was around 14. Wow. But God never let me go through it. I wanted to go for years during my previous marriage, but I couldn't leave my children alone in this world. The hopelessness and secrecy is definitely the places this can fester. Feeling trapped is the literal definition. Wow. Oh, Angelina, girl, you got a story that needs to be told, okay? You be having some stuff, okay? Because, I understand, like you said, feeling hopeless, and also, not knowing that there's hope in God, you know what I'm saying? So I understand, like Melita said, nobody's speaking life. Nobody's saying, listen, there's hope. Don't do this. It's going to get better down the road. It just breaks my heart to hear these type of stories, like, you wanting to do it. But I thank God by his mercy and grace that he did not allow you to do it, and you're still here, because some people who don't know God don't have that opportunity. They don't have anything nudging them not to do it. In fact, they have the enemy who comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And he's in their ear telling them to do it, telling them, listen, it's going to be okay. Go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and take your life, and that's nothing but the enemy, because that's his job. So we're going to listen to this video. Like I said, this is a video of a girl and a girl and her girlfriend. The girlfriend passed away and they had broken up. So she's going through her what is it called? She's what is it called, Melita, when you are not depressed, but I forgot, grieving stage. So she's grieving and she's just like she really can't take it anymore because she feels like, and I wish we would have got the other part, because in one of the parts she was like, I want her to take me with her, like she's telling me to come with her. I remember watching that. This is a snippet of it, but I know one of the parts she said that. But let me just share it for you guys 1 second.
Yeah, she said that.
Yeah, but I'm like, in this one, that's what I was trying. One was for this one didn't have it in there, but it's okay for what we need today.
For
It's
some reason I
fine.
couldn't find the whole thing.
I didn't know it was 7
This
minutes. She
this
was going for
this
this part.
yeah, this was
This is what I still got all my blue shoes, bro. Get this. I still got all her shoes, bro. This shit hurts, dog. I've been trying to contact her and I couldn't. I could not. Her mama just told me her phone had been broke. And I told myself to go over there, bro. Like, go over there, man. Y'all need to make up. Like, and I just kept pushing them days off, bro. I kept pushing them bitches off because I was working, dog. So we said, bro, when she got her mind together, we will work shit out, dog. What am I supposed to do with all her stuff now, dog? Bro, I'm hurt. I got all her work clothes right here, dog. I'm fucking hurt, dog. Dog, I'm fucking hurt. I gotta go to fucking work today again on the 60-hour shift, bro. I don't know how this shit gonna work, dog.
She shouldn't have been alone.
Whoa. I feel like taking a shot. Oh, both. Bro, y'all know what hurt, bro. She came with me to get my crib, dog. She came with me to get my crib. She was sitting right there with me when I signed all my papers, bro. She took all the pictures, bro. Like, my mama was her mama, dog. We stayed in the same house, bro. We slept in the same bed together, dog.
Trick.
When I tell y'all, I'm fucking hurting, dog. I'm fucking hurting, bro. Y'all do not understand this shit right here, dog. Some days we went without a lot of shit, bro, but that shit didn't even matter, bro, because she would always just sit there and smile at me, bro. Rub my hand and tell me she'll be all right, dog. Right here, dog.
Sherry, are you frozen?
I'm muted. Hold on 1 second.
It won't let me.
Oh.
So I wish they would let me forward it, because it was like this transitioning point where, at first she was talking, then she was, kind of like reminiscing, but then she had convinced, let the yeah, stay tuned, she'll be back. Then she let the devil convince her that, well, yeah, it was the devil, and just that depression, that anxiety, he uses those things to minister to you, to us about, and was telling her all these type of things. It was another, I'll pause that one for a minute so you guys can see at least some of the rest of it. But it was another suicide situation with this lady named I think it was Naomi Jude. She was a country singer, and so she actually blew her brains out. She was like 75. And the thing that I like most that she said, that the daughter said, she said the mental illness lied to her and stole her life and stole us from her. So, and to me, mental illness, we know that it's the enemy, that negative, hopeless voice. And so I think that was a good point that she had made, and that's what really was going on. So, and here you get to see actually her starting to believe these things slowly. I don't know if it shows as the slow transition here, but we seen it. The first time I heard about this story, it was, she had convinced herself that that she was going to go be with the woman that she was waiting for her on the other side, and that she had to go because she promised to be there with her. She promised to be there for her, and that she was waiting on her. And so she didn't know about she didn't know about suicide, and she didn't, so that she was convinced that if she jumped off the bridge, that she would meet this girl in the afterlife. And she actually let us see her jump off the bridge. Maybe not in this one, so because we couldn't find it, but she let us see her jump off the bridge. So it was kind of devastating. It was devastating to watch when the first time I ever seen it. So that's why I really think that it's important for people to know about suicide, and that the lies. It's you don't. If it was a good place met after it, then I think it would be recommended. But it's not. We're not supposed to take our life into our own hands. Our life belongs to God. We belong to God. Our life is not our own to just give away, and then suicide is a murdering of yourself, is a selfish act. At that point, most of the time, it's rare somebody is committing suicide thinking about everybody else around them. And it stems from loneliness, bitterness, hurt, regret, emptiness, loneliness, depression. Hello.
I'm on here, man. I don't know what it is. Like, honestly, I don't even know. Like, if anybody knows of any spots that I can go to, because obviously my house is just not good enough, because the signal, I don't know what it is. The internet, it'd be perfectly fine. Then it just, yeah. And then I was muted, so I couldn't say nothing because, yeah. So I'm gonna actually have to find a spot to go to, because I can't keep dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? The internet every time. It'll be like, and we ain't even 30 minutes in. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like 39.
Can
but
you see me, Melissa?
Yeah, you are coming in. So what I was thinking is, yeah. Well, so it's a little like
fuzzy. Okay, go ahead. Now you.
I think that it's some good comments in here though.
Okay, we can go to the
So what
comments because the
about
video was cut short.
I kind of went over and explained to him what happened. I didn't know we could go forward into the car part where she was in the car talking
Her.
about how she had to go with him. But I
Oh,
also explained that too.
oh, okay. Yeah, that was the day she actually killed herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and she said, I
Let me
love my
see.
family, but you know.
Okay, one second. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it back up and put it to the car part. That was the end almost.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because at first she was
Wait.
reminiscing. And first she was crying, then she was reminiscing. Then you seen like a transition on her face, her countenance, personality,
Mhm.
everything just went straight to just she was convinced. You know, you could tell she was convinced. You know, she had began to
Yeah.
harden her heart towards any
She
life.
made up her mind.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's
All
why
right, let
it's
me see if I
important
can
to
share.
idols, you know, for us to not, you know, to worship God and not idols, because at that point, that woman had become her idol.
Mm-hmm. That's right. All right. Let's see.
I promise, bro, I'm gonna be by your side, bro. Like, no matter how much we fight, bro, no matter how much we feel like we want to see other people, dog, and like I got your back because like it's just some days where we just feel like we alone, bro, and I got your back, bro, like we was inseparable, dog, and I told you I was coming, like I'm coming, like I don't know what to do, dog. I gotta understand my pain, bro. I tell y'all we used to sleep together, dog. I used to have to save her, bro. I used to have to get her up in the morning, dog, and get her dressed and take her to work and take her to the store, bro. I used to have to
What
cook
is
her
going
meals,
on?
dog, and feed her and dress her and teach her stuff, dog. Bro, I can't do that shit no more, dog. Y'all niggas don't understand, bro. I can't even. I just gotta go be with her, dog. Like she waiting on me, bro. Like, bro, like I love my family, dog. I love my family, bro. Like this, the way my heart crying out for her, bro. I used to be in love with her, bro. Stop me, bro. Bro. Like because all she wanted, dog, was me to come say sorry, bro, and work that shit out. Like, do not know how hard I am, dog.
So that was the end. That's when she was in the car and she was about to end her life after that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
so she
was.
made her mind up. She was like, I'm coming. I'm coming with you.
Yeah, I think at some point, you know, it's kind of rough because when you're an adult, you know, you are the only one that could really check yourself in. You know, you can lie and say, you know, you can say you're fine and all of these type of things. So sometimes it's hard to get you, you know, to get that help that, you know, that you need. You know, I just would suggest if you know, not leaving somebody alone just because they want to isolate themselves, not really allowing them to in a way. You know, talking to them as much as you can, you know, speaking positivity and, you know, to them, noticing if they're not eating right, noticing if their appetite change, you know, if they're you know, over happy. And sometimes there's no signs, you know, sometimes the signs are very minimal because they know about it. Um, you know, so yeah, and putting yourself and making sure your life is in a position so that you can pray for them, you know, so that you can
Right.
know what to pray for them, that you can hear God's voice when he say, go over there, say this, say that, don't say this, and say that. And if you're not with him, you know what I mean? If you're not living for him, if you can't hear his voice, then you can miss that mark. And you know, to be that change for somebody.
Right, exactly. And what you said, you said adults, when if you report a suicide situation with an adult, they don't actually make them go, is what you said?
So it all depends. So if the person is like erratic, you know, currently like unsafe, out of their, you know, not in their right minds, then you could probably call and have them escorted to the hospital. Other than that, they have to go willingly and participate in the assessment.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, so I think that even with children, adults, rewards still work, you know. So hey, I feel like you should go here. After that, we can do something you want to do. You know, I'll give you so and so just for going, just to clear my, you know, just so I can, you know, just for me to know that you're okay. Stuff like that, you know, let's just go get checked out, you know, talking to them about the signs, being realistic about it, not, you know, actually listening to them, surprising them with something, you know, just different things to show your love, or, you know, how they would like it to be shown, speaking life into them, speaking hope into them, you know, helping them feel hopeful as much as you can, you know, if you know the word, speaking the word, you know, to them, like talking about God, talking about Jesus, like, some people, they don't know, you know, they never heard about him. They don't know about him. They don't, you know, and let God do the rest. The only thing we need is he needs a seed to be planted, you know, to be able to change a heart, you know, and you never know what you're saying if that person prayed something like that, you know, in their closet or something like that, you know.
Absolutely. Oh, there's so much. I'm reading Angelina. Did you already get to her comments, Angelina?
No, I didn't get to any comments. So the last
Oh, okay.
I didn't even, yeah. So it's so much. I didn't hear any of it. She said, Mishi said, I tried to commit suicide. I didn't hear that. See that one either. Oh, no,
we
I saw
did
that
that
one.
one.
Never mind.
Yes, we did hers earlier.
Okay, yeah.
We left off on this one, Angelina. Well, Merely said he said, I don't know a lot about this one. Merely said, Angelina said, what I will share is that sometimes people don't realize the things people say can make it worse. And you just said that, or we were saying that too earlier. She said, I remember being told for years that it's a blessing that I lived this long. Sometimes people need something more than that. Surviving something is not always living. Learning that there is life and a new beginning in God, that I am washed clean by his love and grace, is what makes me want to keep living in spite of it all. Amen. That's good. That's real good.
Yes.
Linda said, stay tuned. She'll be back. T. Renee said, it's heart wrenching. It is. Linda said, it's very important for parents to love their children because they go to so much outside of the home. Yeah. I agree.
So true.
And like Angelina, like she said, you know, sometimes you need more than just, hey, be grateful. You know, you need some uplifting words, you know, encouraging words. And like we've been saying, watching what you say to people, just because you don't know what that person's going through. You don't know what's going on in their lives. It could be whatever you say could make or break their day. Like the guy who was just selling, you know, he was selling things and he was able to prevent a woman from committing suicide. So yeah, we just never know how God has us aligned with other people and the purposes. So that's why we always got to be mindful of, you know, what's going on, like people. She said, I thought God gave up on me. I thought I wasn't good enough to live, and everyone would be better without me. Oh, that was nothing but the enemy.
Now, I know for a fact, I've heard my children say that before, you know, not that God gave up on them, but that it wasn't that everyone will be better off without them. I remember them saying that sometimes it is listening, letting them get it out, letting them talk it out. I think sometimes that makes a difference, because if they feel like you're going to say the cliche thing to say, they're not going to want to tell you. Sometimes just listening can literally make a difference. So, let them get it all out so you can know what areas you need to help them in by your actions. Right. Maybe not even at that exact time. Maybe the next day you can come out with some soup, or, a game or a movie, or taking them out, or, something like that. The word, things like that. So letting them know how much you love them, how much you care about them, how important they is with, and not just, oh, you need to be there for your mom, or you need to be, your kids need you, go into detail, man, it would devastate me. It would this, that. Like, I'd rather go through 1,000 mountains and hills and fire with you than live a day without you. Just, things to really help them see, like, oh no, I'm not better off, and let them see their progress. Always compliment the things that they're doing right, as well as talking, helping them. Sometimes we think we know love is correction, right? But sometimes we forget, with our children, we forget to not just focus on making them better people. You know what I mean? Well, you correcting all their mistakes, noticing the small things about them, just their presence and stuff like that. So, especially with the rates being high from 10 to 14, I mean, it's a lot going on with our young men. They're not feeling heard. They're not feeling seen. They're feeling the pressures of the world. The social media is tricking people, and so I have to tell my boys, like, hey, just like you coming to me with your issues, but then your friends think that everything is perfect and that you have a great this and a great that. They tell their parents this, that, but you don't see what, their tears at night, because social media is not going to show you that part.
That's
You're
right.
not going to see that part. These are tears on their pillow, but it gets better.
And if they don't have the parents to go to and really talk to, right, that makes it even worse. Like, yeah. So that's why I guess it takes a village, because some people just don't have I guess what is it? The social support, right, that they need, that everybody needs. Some parents just don't care. They're like, whatever, they go to work and they do what they're supposed to do as far as cooking or whatever, but they don't really care about the children. They don't care that they're affecting them, that they need love. They don't care about that. And so the children grow up, and of course, the first people to love you is your parents, your mom and your dad. And if you already don't have maybe one person in your life, and then the other one doesn't seem to care, I can see why that population is growing in suicides. I could see why, and then with the abuse, add the abuse in there that we've talked about several times, that's going on with these young children. And just imagine, if it's happening at 6 years old, by the time you're 10, you're probably ready to go. Like, okay, it's no point. Nobody cares, So, yeah, it's so many different areas of it. Did you have
and
something
it's
else
like
to say? Nope.
Yeah, like children feel sometimes they have responsibility to not put a burden on their parents. So
right.
if they, well, I don't want to stress my parent out. I don't want to be a problem. I don't want to make things worse for them. I don't want them to be worried and stressing about me, Right. So I know, my son have said it, and then, or feeling bad because they feel stressed about something social, when something quote unquote bigger may be happening, to the parent. Or they have to go and work 40 hours, 60 hours a week, and you complaining because, you didn't get the shoes that you wanted, but that is causing you to get bullied, so it's stressing you out. But because your stress is not their stress, you feel like you can't go to them, or that they make you feel, I know what you worried about, what you stressing about. You don't got nothing to be stressing about. I'm the one that's doing blah 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 blah, and it's like, that's not working anymore. That's not good enough anymore. That's not, because back then it was more of them. We had more children, more siblings, so
Mhm.
it's a lot of different things that wasn't, if they wasn't getting it from the parents, they probably wasn't getting it. Now if they're not getting it from you, they're getting it from social media. They're getting it from school, they're getting it from TV, things like that, that is other information coming through, whether it's from you or not. So you see a loving home and they see a box with a bed with dark gloominess, and you like, what? We got bed, we got TV, but they still feeling alone. That's not what they see.
Yeah, because people don't understand that materialistic things don't make people happy. Doesn't matter how many you have, how much money you have, how many clothes you have. That doesn't make you happy. It just gives you like a small satisfaction at that time,
Mm,
right? But
for
it can't cure what's in the inside. So you keep chasing after it, but it's not satisfying you because
no.
the root cause is Christ. We know that
Yeah,
we need God, you know what I'm saying? And because you
we
don't have
need.
him, something's missing. So you try to fill it with everything. Shoes and clothes and bags and cars, and none of those things will work. You're still going to be in the same situation. And so most of the time people they commit suicide after that because it's like I've tried everything. I've tried drugs.
Yeah.
I've tried men and women, different relationships, sleeping over here, sleeping with that person. I've tried it. I've tried getting clothes and cars and jewelry. They've tried everything and it still wasn't good enough because they didn't try the source, which is King Jesus. Instead, they
Yes.
take their lives because they tried everything that was in the world and that the word that's deceitful. And that's why we got to understand materialistic things are that's why the Bible says focus on the things above, the heavenly things, not earthly things. Because you can get so wrapped up into these earthly things that you don't even care about your future in God, your salvation, and so
So
and
true.
it's sad for you to, take your life over something material that you that doesn't matter, that when you die, you won't even have use of it, but
What
we
profit
lay
is
our
it?
yeah. What profit of man? You gain the world and lose your soul, meaning you get materialistic things, you get everything you want, you get all the women you say you want, you get everything that's supposed to make you happy, and you still lose your soul because you're not happy in the inside because it's something missing. And it's so many. I think that's the really the gist and the main ingredient to why a lot of people are committing suicide, even if they're in abuse and things like that. Because I mean, I don't know that's a different facet. I'm not even trying to compare the two, but when you don't have a good foundation, you're bound to do anything because you have no foundation. Nothing is holding you together. So you move with every wind, anything that comes your way. And so that's why it's
Mm,
important to have a great
yes.
foundation in Christ because that's the only thing that's going to keep us secure. And again, because the world will drive you insane. It'll take not literally, but it's just so much going on. It's like what? And then looking at the news on top of that, dealing with crazy people on top of that. Yeah, you need to put your hope and trust in God. Otherwise, ain't none of us gonna be able to make it, honestly.
No.
She said, I
Amen.
have a 15-year-old daughter going through depression right now, and all I can do is listen and show her unconditional love and understanding
Yeah.
what she has been through. It's hard when the abuse came from someone she loves. Ooh, yeah. That's
Yes. So
that is
true.
so sad. Yeah, it comes right in, and so it's probably easier for you to say, I'm gonna commit suicide, right? Because I'm depressed and the people who are supposed to love me and show me love aren't there for me. So that would, you know what I'm saying? That just makes it worse. And I think I'm glad that now you're listening to her, you're actually being there for her, Mishi, because she needs that. She needs you to hear her out and to direct her. Kids need guidance. They don't need to just grow up and do whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reason why we have kids killing themselves. They're spoiled. They're spoiled. This is why the Bible tells you not to spoil your children because they grow up, they have everything. What do the rich do? When they get everything, they kill themselves, right? They commit suicide, they overdose because they have everything. It's nothing else to do. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like once you do everything in the world, this is why they
Yeah.
doing all this immoral things because it's like I'm bored with the regular life. So it's not good to spoil your children. Give them things, but the main thing you need to give them is instruction, love, which is correction too as well. You know what I'm saying? Also the physical love. But those are the things that will stick with your children. Josh said that will work for me. Two in the bed that loves me. That's the best. Oh, what is he talking about?
And yeah, like you said, speaking life. You are somebody, and God's gonna use you one day, and you're gonna be the key to many, and people are gonna
Yes.
come to your life, and God's gonna use you. He has a purpose for you, a plan for you,
Plan for you.
things like that. You're gonna make a difference in this world. Letting them understand what some of the things you went through and stuff like that, and just really letting them know like God has a purpose for them because He does.
Yeah.
Like
we've heard so many the parents, you play a big part because so many parents are like you said, they're not speaking life into their children. They're more like dogging them out. Oh, you know what? They'll never be nothing. You will never be anything. You're not gonna amount to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or the fathers maybe wasn't anything. You're gonna be just like your daddy. He ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? And you don't say those
yes,
type of things to the
no.
children. You speak life and say you will not be like your dad, but you will be better. You know what I'm saying? You shall not be an alcoholic. You will not be in drugs. You know what I'm saying? You declare the things over
Exactly.
your child's life opposite of that bloodline in Jesus' name, of course, and you will break some things off of the bloodline, but when you come into agreement with it, then now the enemy works. Now the enemy can go ahead and do exactly what he needs to do, which is kill, steal, and destroy. So we got to
Mm,
be intentional about our words. Life and death is in the power of the tongue, and people don't understand. God has given us authority to speak it, so just
yeah.
like you can speak life, you can speak death. And we got to be so intentional about when people are saying, I want to kill myself, take that serious. I tell my daughter, if somebody says that, I'll take it serious. I don't joke around with somebody saying they want to kill themselves or I want to end my life. I'm not taking it as a joke. I'm calling somebody, the police, somebody getting called for you. I'm sorry. If you plan, well, you just gonna be in trouble and you shouldn't play like that. So um I'm going to go to Josh's comment now. He said, I'm joking, but for the most part, God has to be in a person's life, physical and mental and spiritually. And plenty of people are happy with that lifestyle and just sin. Absolutely, they are. And we know what sin is. The wages of sin is death. So now we're seeing more death because the payment of sin is death,
Mm,
right? But
say it.
the gift of God is eternal life, right? So you're getting paid for what you are doing on earth, your wages. You get paid for it. And so we got to understand that, you know, everything that we do outside of God's will, it's a payment for it and it's not going to be life, unless we repent, unless we change our way and come back to God, which all of us need to repent every day. We do something that we need to repent for. And I'm speaking for
Yeah.
myself, but everybody, we all need to do that and get in the habit of doing it. Josh said, why every teenager's depressed? People just bad parents. They need to suck that and get to work. Oh, yes. I agree. But see, I think what it is, Josh, is the parents are messed up. So you can't help anybody when you're half of yourself. So now it trickles down
So
to the children who you can't give them your whole self. You can't dedicate what they need. So you give them less of what they need. And now they're depressed because they're not getting what they need as a child. And so
yeah.
it's so many children that are depressed. And I think one thing is social media too. Social media is given too early. We allow them to be on social media, and they already did studies that Instagram for women, especially for girls, it causes them to want to commit suicide because they're always in competition that they can never. It's not a realistic competition, which competition is not of God anyway, but
Hmm.
it's always a competition there, so they're trying to measure up to something they'll never get, and it makes them feel inadequate. And when you feel inadequate, you feel like you're worthless, right? And so this is why most of the teenagers are depressed. It's social media. They need to get off social media. You should not have it until I think 13, 14 at tops. But now we got 5-year-olds with it, 6-year-olds. And because we have those young children with social media, it's actually these young people to lose their lives. And I'm not saying it's the direct link, but indirectly, you know what I'm saying? The indirect effect of it, is causing people. They even got stuff where they can show you how to take your life. They can show you, it's so much stuff on this here now, y'all. And that's gonna we have a video that we were supposed to show. Hopefully I can show it and it's not going to be any hiccups because it was a really good video. When I keep saying that, if somebody says they're going to commit suicide, they don't feel like living, you have to take it serious because this young lady, I don't know if you guys heard of it. It was about 2014, I think, but she was charged with involuntary manslaughter because the boyfriend, who was only 18, she was 17 years old, teenagers. He said he wanted to commit suicide and he had told her for a while. They both were depressed and she actually coerced, like, okay, go ahead. You know what? What are you waiting on? He was even trying to change his mind and she coerced him to do it and to kill himself. And he did it. And they have messages and things about it. So I'm gonna see if I can try to play that. Y'all want to go ahead and play it. Let me see if I can jump off here and go to this other network because I want it to be solid. I don't want it to be slow. Okay, let me. Okay, let's see, y'all. Y'all see it? You see it, Melita?
Not yet, but
you don't?
No, not yet. The circle is coming. Yep.
Okay, hold on.
There
Let
we
me.
go.
I know. I just don't want it to be slow though. Let me know if it is. I'm gonna try to get on this other internet.
Wow.
3 rows, 4 seasons, built for the unstoppable. The Kia Sorento X-Pro and Turbo Hybrid. Kia, movement that inspires.
Checking out the ABC News YouTube channel.
You muted.
Have you heard of that story before?
Me? No, I've never heard that.
I see. Yeah, I actually heard about that some time back, and I couldn't believe she was 17 doing that type of stuff. I want to read some of her messages because they didn't show all of them our messages, but like she said, he was actually trying to back out of it. He was telling her like, "Hey, I'm going to commit suicide. I don't want to be here. I'm depressed." Right? And on the day of it says he asked her, "How was your day?" This was she said. "When are you doing it?" So he asked her, "How was your day?" And she said, "When are you doing it?"
Wow.
She didn't say anything. Yeah. When are you doing it? And he responded that he had a good day. He said he ended up going to work for a little bit and then just looked up some stuff on what to do, right? She said, "When are you going to do it? Stop ignoring the question."
Wow.
So, of course, he was in the car and committed suicide by carbon monoxide because they were looking up plans on how they could do it. Of course, you know that you would die if you sit in the car, with that type of fume. So she was basically pressuring him. He was saying he was scared, of course, like scared. I don't know if I want to do it. And he's like, she's like, "Tonight is the night. It's now or never." And he's like, I'm really freaking out. I'm overthinking. "I thought you wanted to do this. The time is right and you're ready. You just need to do it." So it's like she coerced him to like, of course he may have had the thought, but she pushed him like over the bridge. Like he went there and she pushed him.
Yeah, because it's like it wasn't just her. He was already having those thoughts. She was reinforcing them. She was putting a voice to them, making them louder. But they were already there. It's they were there.
Yeah, because he was changing his mind. He was having second thoughts. So pretty much he's having second thoughts, and you're, like you said, reinforcing the first thought you were having. No, you should just do it. Didn't you say you wanted this? I thought you wanted this bad. He's like, "Well, I do, but I'm just nervous. And that's another it comes with support because they had like an online relationship from what I heard. They didn't really have like too much of a relationship like on social media or like they didn't have pictures together. It was just pretty much, this twisted relationship they had. Both of them was depressed and they met up and so I just think that she could
Yes,
have in this instance she could have changed this. She could have changed the outcome.
most definitely.
I'm gonna go to some comments here. Let's see here. Josh, single mamas do that. He's talking about when I was saying the women say you're gonna be just like your daddy. Some do. Tonya said,
Yeah.
hey, Tonya, I seen her. She's here. Josh said, I speak success, happiness over my life. Okay. That's great. We all need success and happiness. Angelina said, the grace of God is that he fills those spaces where we lack. Hey man, no one is perfect. We forget that. There's no one perfect nor a perfect parent. Amen. Let's clap that up. Let's clap that up. Okay. There's nobody perfect. There's no perfect parent. We should strive to get there and do better, especially as you mature. We should never stay stagnant in the same spot. We have to have growth. I'm sorry, Josh said life is a competition though. You can't run from that. Well, it's not really a competition, right?
Right.
Life is a race. So you're not it's not a competition. That's from the enemy. It's more of just a race. We all have a race to run, which yours may be faster, mine's may be slower, somebody else's may be medium. It's not going to be a one size fits all. And when we understand that, we won't think of things as a competition. So we won't look at somebody else and think
Right.
that that's our competition. We'll just run our race the way we're supposed to run the race, the way what God called us to do. And so I
Right.
think that competition is a big thing that I think results in suicide because like we said, if we're always competing, I feel like I have to
Yeah.
measure up.
Comparing.
Yeah, if we're always comparing and
Mhm.
feeling like we have to measure up to society standards, I have to be like this person, or I have to have this type of car by this certain age, then it could lead to suicide because the standards are just too high or unattainable. And if we don't attain those standards, then we feel like we're nothing. So that's why competition is not of God because it sets unrealistic expectations for somebody in which we don't think the same, we don't think alike, our brains move differently. God made everybody unique. We're fearfully and wonderfully made, but we're all different. So that's why it shouldn't be a competition.
Yeah, he's not judging you on on other people against other people's actions. He's judging you between you and him, your actions.
Right, the relationship. Josh said blaming her for him killing himself is crazy. He was weak. This is why you don't make your son a simp. Oh my goodness. You don't care, be sensitive. He just go in. Well, I don't the thing is she wasn't entirely blamed. That's why she got involuntary manslaughter. She didn't get just manslaughter. And then she actually got out. She only got 3 months. So she was supposed to have longer than that. I don't know how she got out. Yeah. So I think she played a part. I didn't say, they actually did charge her with a part in it. Like just like if somebody committed a crime and you were with them, you would be considered an accessory, right? We wouldn't say like, you're weak or whatever. You would be a part of the crime. So she's just as much responsible as he is because she could have changed the outcome, but she did not. She coerced the situation and pushed it forward pretty much. She sealed the deal. Linda. Linda said, when you are a teenager from the age of 12, actually until about 20, you're going to go through some things. That's why it's important for you to let them know what you want, what you went through, and when you were a teenager. Do not make them think that you were so much better, because that will make them feel so much worse. But having someone there to guide you is so important.
Oh,
I like that. I
mm,
like when she said, don't make them think you're so much better. Even though you may be in a better position now, you can kind of relate, let them know that you can relate to them. Like, listen, this is what I did. And what I do with my children, I'll tell them, like, this is what I did as a parent. I don't want you
yeah,
doing
me
this,
too.
and the reason why I don't want you doing this is because this is what I went through, and I don't want you to go through this. So that's how I explain it. I just use my mistakes as lessons to teach and say, hey, don't go down that path because this is where it leads you to. So, yeah. Tonya said, I actually watched this play out in court TV. This was so sad. She actually thought she was going to get away with it. Nancy Grace blew it out of the water. This was said. She was actually taunted. She actually taunted him, and she knew his state of mind. She did.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
Did.
sad.
Yeah. And she thought she was going to get away with it because the fundraiser that they showed in the beginning, she did the fundraiser after he died in honor of him, right? Conrad something, right? She did a whole fundraiser in honor of his name when she knows she killed him, or not killed him, but she coerced him to commit suicide. So it was I don't know, that was really sick to me. Like, for someone to do that to me spiritually, it got to be, it's something going on there for you to say that to somebody. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, she definitely was a tool.
Yeah. She was a tool for the enemy, for real, because that's weird. I've never seen anything like it. Especially somebody 17. Go ahead and kill yourself. Didn't you want this? That ain't nothing but the devil speaking like that.
No, and we don't. It does make me wonder about her history. Like, because that shows some sociopathic,
Mhm.
tendencies to be able to do that. I wonder what happened to her, and how she's doing now, because that was rough.
I did have it. Where is it at? I don't know where it's at, but she got out. Like I said, she was supposed to get, I think, 10, 15. She was supposed to get some time, but she only did, or no, she was supposed to get 5 years, I think, but she only did like 3 months, and they let her out. And I don't know why she's on probation for 5 years, but she didn't get enough time to me. Like you said, it's social path. It's like,
No.
you're crazy. You're nuts. Josh said this only a story because it's a white boy that killed himself, but old girl is terrible. But we ain't in charge of our own. But we ain't in charge of our own choices. And I think it would be, well, maybe society only brings it the story because it. Okay, I get that part because that happens, right? But I don't think I'm not saying it doesn't happen in our community, but that's just something most of the time we don't do. We don't be saying, go ahead. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but it could happen. But you said he's not in charge of our own choices. We are in charge of our own choices. However, she helped him to make that choice, right? So people can be influenced. Um,
Right.
by other people, so he's in charge, but that's why she had to get a charge. She charged as well because she helped. She had a chance to create life or death, and she chose death in this instance because she could have just said, no, you know what, if you don't do this, and he wouldn't have done it. He said, I had a good day. I had a really good day today. So he wasn't even thinking about killing himself. He needed somebody to say, don't do it. And she said the opposite.
Yeah, he helped, and she pushed him down instead of help picking him help to pick him up. So I think that's what she did in that situation.
It's like somebody standing on the bridge and they like, I'm about to jump. And you see them on the bridge, instead of you saying, no, don't jump, let me pull you back. Oh no, go ahead and jump, and you push them. You would still be wrong in the situation either way. And you had the responsibility morally fully have a responsibility to do right, right? So she's definitely responsible.
I
Linda
think
said, I
that.
feel. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I feel that you know, especially children. I think that when we assume that just because they're 17, they're adults, but they're still children. The children mind is moldable. They are still developing. They are still getting to learn themselves. Their brain is not at its full growth or capacity. They're still growing up. On top of the fact that um a lot of them they would feel bad if, you know, because they already feel society would say, oh, you are weak or you're not strong enough. If they feel like, okay, I'm not strong enough to handle it, I'm too weak to handle it, that's going to make them want to end it worse, because they're going to feel like I don't deserve to live because I am a weak person and I can't change it because nobody is showing me how to change it, or they're saying it but they're not helping me and strengthening my mind, strengthening my self-esteem, strengthening my self-worth. They are tearing it down, which makes them weaker, you know, because when you words beat on people, you know what I'm saying? So when you tear them down with your words, you're beating them down. When you beat somebody down, they weaken. You're weakening their mind, you're weakening their spirit, you're weakening their heart, their will to live, their capability to feel that they can do it. How you expect them to believe? You have to believe that these things are possible. That's why you get hopeless, because you stop believing that you're capable of controlling this, or that you will ever be strong enough, or that your mind will ever get where society tells you it should be. So pointing out something that their brain is already telling them in turns make it worse. So we have to combat those things. If you don't have those thoughts, you don't understand what it's like to have those thoughts, and they get louder. And especially if we don't help them be quiet down, which is bringing out their strength to help them believe in themselves that they can do it, and that if they cannot do it, that is somebody that can help them do it, and that's Christ Jesus. That's what Angel was talking about, filling in those gaps that we don't have. So I think that I just wanted to bring that out.
Good. That's a great point. Great point, Melita, pointing that out. That's what we're here for. That is why we're adults. Our brain is mature. We understand things much better, whereas they don't. So we need to pull them, you know. That's why it's so important to have good parents, because had he had good parents, or somebody he felt like he could talk to, right, understanding, then he would have went to them. I don't know, what his parents didn't seem bad, but maybe maybe they had money or something, and they, you know what I'm saying, and he just felt like they couldn't understand the pressure he was going through, because sometimes people think money solves everything, and it's the answer to everything, but when it comes to spiritual and emotional things, money cannot solve it. And I think that's what was missing too.
Right.
Let's
No.
Josh said, I agree with what y'all saying, but black boys don't get this grace. I mean, do you mean that it's not on TV? Because I would honestly, and Melita works with black boys who she gives the same grace to. So I mean,
Most definitely.
I don't know. Like,
I think they actually less likely to accept it from me sometimes.
Are they? Because you're a woman.
Or, you know, just like I said, society tells you if you accept help, or if you admit to your weaknesses, that makes you weak. But it takes a strong person to admit their weaknesses,
right?
You know, and to be able to reach out for help. You know, that's what you're supposed to do, is being resourceful. Okay, I need a mentor. Okay, I need to be strengthened in my mind. Okay, you know what I'm saying, I need some strength. I need some guidance. Being able to reach out and for those resources, that's what men do. They provide. So sometimes you have to provide for yourself, provide mental health for yourself, provide guidance for yourself, accept help, accept this grace without feeling like you're weak.
Exactly. I absolutely, because like you said, they don't accept it because they're boys, and again, they're taught to be strong. So it's not that they don't have the same grace. It's just that they are more so taught not to lean on their emotions. Just be strong and be tough. And like you said, they won't accept it sometimes. Um, Linda said, if you have children and someone does that to your child, you would feel a lot different. Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree. It takes sometimes it takes you being, I mean, we can all be empathetic, right? And just putting ourselves into shoes of somebody, even when it's not our situation, but when you're actually in that position, it's a totally different story. Totally different story. Um uh-oh. Oh, okay. He said my child would never be that weak and simp like that. Well, we don't know until, we would hope your child wouldn't be that way. But you never say never because we just don't know, what may happen. And we don't want it to happen, of course, but we just don't know. Um Linda said that wasn't for you. Okay, you seen that. All right. Tonya said it's just sad she had a spiritual obligation to bring him out. Instead, she chose to lead him to death. She knew how messed up he was and used him like a puppet. You have to watch the story. It was deep. The messages they revealed were heartbreaking. He really trusted her. Yeah, he did. He did. And it's heart wrenching because it's like, how could you be that evil? That was nothing but her being evil. Like, honestly, because how could you be that evil to say, didn't you want this? Do it, get it over already. You know what I'm saying? And then you texting him talking about, oh, how I miss you, how this, and one day we'll meet again. That's sick. That's some sick stuff. Like, mm-mm. And to be 17 doing that type of stuff. Mm-mm. Josh said, you know what? I'm gonna just be quiet because this ain't mine. But he said this is why this isn't my strong suit or my ministry. So I'm gonna just be quiet because y'all just more compassionate than I am. Maybe so.
Well, what I would say to that is that you have sometimes we need a advocate. You know what I mean? Because you're not the only one that's thinking these things. So sometimes even speaking that is helping because you're bringing out things that other people are also thinking, which helps us to be able to respond. So we need all minds to be able to work together. I think the good part about you, Josh, is that you're not stuck in, you always willing to listen and open and welcome feedback. So that, that just nobody's taking anything personal. Others who may also feel the way that you feel, and how else will we know if you don't speak up? So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, I think so too. We need more men that are advocates for young boys. Like, and I think, Josh, maybe you don't have the compassion yet, but as you have children, you will develop some of that compassion. I think that's probably why you don't have a lot. Now, of course, some men just don't get all the way there, right? But you want to have some form of compassion in your heart. I'm not saying being a simp or weak or anything, because showing compassion is a trait even Christ had, right? Plenty of times when he was healing the sick, when he was doing his ministry, you'll hear him say, and he had compassion on the woman. He had compassion on even the men. So because he knew the state that they were in, compassion is just a real strong feeling of, what is it, love, or like you're moved pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And we ought to, as people, we have to have it, especially as Christian people. Compassion is a trait of Christ. We have to have compassion for people. So you
Yes.
want to maybe work on that to get some. And I know it's hard when if you don't have kids, it's like, man up, dog, come on. I push through, you push through. But everybody may not be built as strong as you. And even we know the children are now wiser but weaker, because we know that's biblical. So when we know that the children are going to be weaker, but they will be smarter than we are, but they won't be as strong, then now we have to look at other ways that we can get to the children, right? And the only way to
Amen.
get to them is by having a heart of compassion, of love, because love will draw them, right? And love have I drawn thee. And so that's the only way to draw them. And then you can whip out the lashes later after you've gotten them and got a hold of them first. So it's so big to
Exactly.
develop that. Yeah. If we don't and if you don't have compassion, people, if you're dealing with somebody who's willing to commit suicide, just like this woman was, they're gonna just go ahead and do it, you know? So it's so important to have compassion,
Yeah,
y'all. We
they're
have
not.
to. You all have
So
a yeah.
yes,
Mhm. Um, Latonia said, "Amen." Angelina said, "Yes, work on it. We are people. We all need compassion. I promise you, we do."
all of us.
Amen. We all need compassion, y'all. And listen, if Jesus gave compassion and He was God, come on now, we gotta have it. Linda said that is so true, Melita, because I have heard that so many times men does not cry. Men don't. Men does not cry to be strong.
I have heard that.
Oh,
So
they're not crying so they can appear strong. She said, I have 5 boys, so I can imagine how much better it would be with a strong man around that can help. Exactly. Yeah. They don't cry because they're told if you cry, you're not strong. You're weak if you cry. Now, honestly, I'm gonna be real. I used to think that if you did cry too as a man, like honestly, I grew up in the y'all knew we grew up in the 90s, right? Well, I'm an 80s baby. So, they was saying I need a soldier, right? If your status ain't hood, I ain't stuff like that. So because of those songs, they would get in our minds. Like when you listen to that, you better be street if you looking at me. So I think that's where the poo poos and ray rays came in because they was the ones in the street, right? So I mean, you words are powerful. So we got to understand that. And again, we look at our men to be strong, and if they do cry, it's a problem. Because I used to be like that. Like, is you crying? Mm-mm. Oh, I'm out of here. I am out of here. But I shouldn't have done that. I needed to have more compassion, which I had to grow. And that's what I'm saying with Alan. I know you're gonna grow to get there. And it's a work in progress, but we have to do it. It's so necessary. And I had to learn that, even men may have to cry. They're human, they're human just like us. And
yeah,
you got boys and you got sons, you don't want to just tell them, stop crying. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Why are you crying? You know what I'm saying? And then explain to them, like, listen, learn to explain to them how to direct their emotions, because although they are young boys or men or whatever, if they don't understand how to direct their emotions, then they're just going to be all over the place. They still have some emotions there as well, not like women, but they have more they have emotions just like we do, but not to the capacity of a woman's emotion. That's what I'm trying to say. Tonya said, "Hey, boo." She talking to, I think, Angelina. She said, "Hey." Okay, y'all talking. Hey, Phoebe. We missed you. I don't know how long she been on, but she said life is all about growth, and that it is. But that's all. That's all, y'all. We went through our videos. We went through all of the things we had set up, and like Mama J said, the enemy, we got to really pray hard, because when we do topics, y'all got to understand everything is spiritual. And because the enemy is the prince of the air, which we may not understand what that means. It means the airways. He's already got the God of this world. Now he doesn't own the world, right? But God has allowed him to become the God of this world because Adam gave his, that over to him. So um it's important we do pray. So I ask that y'all pray for the broadcast as well when we get on, when we go live, that we don't have any issues, because I promise you I'll be over here doing everything I can, and it's still somehow it's getting earlier and earlier in the session where we have an interruption issues. So it's not like it can't just be the internet. It has to be something else that is preventing, that does not want the word to go forth. And that's how the enemy is. He's a distractor. He wants to come in and confuse things and to make things not work. So I have to really pray more on it as well, and I want y'all to pray for it as well, because bringing out sensitive topics like this, the God is glorified and the devil is not glorified. And so when he's not glorified, because he wants us to worship him like he's God, he's mad. So he does things because he owns the airways. All this stuff, he owns it, because for a season, it's his to operate. And we have to understand that. So spiritual warfare is real. But I
Yes,
really
indeed.
appreciate, everybody for sticking in with us. Like y'all stick in with us. Like Melita, I love her to bunches. I love her to life because she will be here like, okay, well, I'm just gonna talk. Let me see what y'all say. She gonna figure it out because she not the take charge, but she the backup that we need. So, and I thank her. I appreciate her so much because she just
Aw,
brings
thank
so
you.
much life to the show. Yeah, I really do. And but yeah, that's what be going on. And God gonna fix it because we gonna make sure it
Oh
get
yeah.
fixed. But I just don't know. I'm looking like we 39 minutes in. It usually don't do this to like an hour and something. But you know, like Tony said, we rebuke that spirit of interruption right now, okay? And that's what I'm gonna say every time I come on here. We gonna plead the blood of Jesus over this broadcast, okay? Ain't no weapon formed. So yeah, but that's all I have, y'all. Let's see. Angelina say you are all the real MVPs. Thank you, love. We appreciate you. Y'all the MVPs because y'all be here every week with us. Like, and y'all don't
Yeah.
have to be because look, it's sunny outside. Y'all could be outside doing whatever, but y'all join and I appreciate it so much. And I know it ain't nothing but
Yeah.
God, the Lord. You gotta give him all
Yes.
the honor. But Phoebe said the scripture
Such
say
so
pray constantly so we can pray nonstop. We so please. Yes, we need we do. We have to pray without ceasing, and we do. And sometimes, things be going good. We get lax, like, okay, well, everything been pretty good. So not realizing as soon as you don't pray that one time, here come the enemy. Up, I see a doorway. You ain't said no prayers, so here I come. Thank you, Whitney. And we appreciate you, Whitney, for being a subscriber. And every week you on YouTube, we appreciate you
yeah.
so much.
To that YouTube channel.
Yes, we really appreciate. And anybody on YouTube that you're not saying anything, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. Please share this live out. We want to grow our channel because we are eventually going to move directly over to YouTube, and Facebook will just get the reels. You won't get the full live. So everybody, make sure y'all subscribe to the channels. And that's it. I think. Millie, do you got anything else to say about today's topic?
Um, no, well, not today's topic, but I just wanted to say, like, if anybody has some topics, to feel free to let us know. Send them to Sherry, and I'm pretty sure she'll get you squared away. On top of that, I wanted to see if you wanted to say anything about your new launch that's happening before you forget.
Thank you. Thank you. So look, I appreciate you.
We both have things going on, and so I figured we could talk about them right quick.
Yeah, you know what? And that's in line because I was thinking about that, but I forgot. So thank you. I don't know. You want to go first, or you want to talk about yours, or
well, I'll make mine quick. So, so basically, with me, it's just like I just wanted anybody that's interested in traveling, anybody that's interested in earning commission for your travel. So every time you travel, somebody's getting commission. So my take is why shouldn't it be you? And if your family is traveling, why shouldn't it be them? And then and the whole trip would then become tax deductible. And so if you're interested in learning more about that, please reach out to me. Inbox me. I also have a page called Travel Funds and with Travel Funds. So yeah, that's mine. So Sherry.
Okay, awesome. So that is like, please y'all, because she's traveling, she's making money to travel, and I'm gonna be joining you soon. I was just trying to get this off the ground first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be joining you soon. But hold on, let me see. Phoebe said she said these topics are so on point. Great job, ladies. Thank you, Phoebe. And you know what? It ain't nothing but the good Lord because we consult God and we be like, Lord, and if something Melita knows, she'd be like, what about this? I'm like, I don't know. Or I change it like, this is what God is saying. We need to, focus on that. She'd be like, dang, I'm glad you listen, and it just works out perfectly because love the Lord and we know God. That's why y'all, I'm telling you, he'll order your steps. And even if you don't get that answer right away, you got to keep pressing in till you get it. Okay. But yes,
Becoming
Angelina said yes, Miss Noni.
Noni. Woo
Call me.
woo.
Just
Come
call
on,
me
talk
Miss
about it.
Noni. Okay. So look, y'all. I know y'all grandmas. If anybody is definitely, if I know I'm 39, so I remember like the older grandmas and aunties drinking it, right? So I know y'all, if y'all older than me, y'all gotta remember it. And if you don't, I'm just gonna share a picture of it. Real, it's called noni juice, and this is a medicinal juice, right? So these here are actually grown in Tahiti. So they're grown in Tahiti, are all natural. Everything in here is natural. It's blueberries, grapes as well with that. And it has antioxidants in it. And you know what the antioxidants does. They kill off free radicals, which cause cancer and things like that. So it's good for everything on here. So y'all see the pain, bloating, digestion, everything. And all you do is take it twice a day, an ounce a day, or I'm sorry, an ounce morning and night. And pretty much I have stories. I'm not gonna share all the stories, right? Because there's a lot of stories people have talked about um the way it has healed them. And I don't know if anybody remember. Oh, your Mama J said she remember. Okay, Mama J. Listen, it's coming back. And I think what happened, they said, I think the leadership, they didn't have enough distribution and they didn't have the leadership together when it actually phased out. And so now they have it structured better. And now, people can actually market it. So I'm a distributor for it. And I would like, if anybody wants some, I can ship it to you. I even have a website, so I can put the link. I'll put it up, and y'all grab y'all noni, okay? I'm telling you, because right now we know it's viruses out here, it's all kinds of colds, it's ailments, and all kinds of things going on. But this is an immune booster. So if you need something to boost your immune system, to just give you that extra boost that has medicinal properties, this is for you.
And you're
Linda,
gonna be doing a launch, right, on Sunday to fully talk about the
yes.
stories.
I am. Okay, yes. So if anybody wants to come to the lunch, I'm doing my hard lunch on Sunday at 6 p.m. So we're doing a Zoom. I got like 13 people already who said they will be on, and I'm like, God is good. Okay. And so if you want to learn more about it, because I even got some, like, I just ordered some drops like for weight loss, because they said after 35 that weight wouldn't come back. I didn't believe them. I promise you, I didn't believe them. They used to be like, after 35, watch, that weight is not gonna fall off you like that. Cause I was like, mm. And now I'm after over 35 and I can't get the weight off.
Lord,
So I got these drops as well. They're by Noni as well. All natural drops. And pretty much it just suppresses your what is it? The sugar. Cause I'm a sugar person. I'm like it, so it cuts the taste for it. And I'm like, oh, I love donuts and cakes and cookies, unfortunately. But yeah, it cuts the taste
you're
for
not
it,
alone.
which I need. And then it also helps your metabolism to run faster. And because of that, you lose weight naturally. Of course, now you need to do dieting. You want to eat right. So Monday, I'm starting that. So I'm going to have my transformation for y'all real soon. But yes, get with me. Okay, Mama J said, she said very interesting. She would get with me. Okay. Angelina, I know she told me she drank it as a kid. She said, I'll be ordering for my kids. Yes. Get them. I'm
Nice.
telling you, because again, we the parents, so we make them. We make them take it, okay? You can't tell me no. You're taking it, and it's just for the good of you, because we don't. They're with kids. They're at school. They're picking up germs, and if your immune system is at the top levels, you know what I'm saying? It just makes it harder for you to get sick. So, Angelina said that that weight is sticking. I'm telling you, the weight is sticking. It won't come off, but it's gonna come off.
It's
I'm
coming
telling
out.
you, it's coming off. So if anybody want to join me on the Zoom, I would appreciate y'all. I mean, I want y'all on there. Just let me know. It's no pressure at all. It's just really a presentation that we're gonna go over, because you can make money in this like life right now. We need more than one income. Like everybody knows that jobs are transitioning, they're going away, and so because of that, it's good to have more than one stream of income. And when I looked at they pay structure, y'all, I was like, okay, I need to be doing this, okay, because I need the extra money and I need to stay healthy. So if I can get paid to help somebody else get healthy, it's a no-brainer for me. Just like the travel business Melita doing. Once I get to traveling like that, I'm gonna be in her business as well. I need to, because I need to get paid to travel. Okay. So,
Yeah, me too.
and I think if we all get together, we can put a network together and actually just kill the game. Honestly,
Yeah.
power in numbers, and that's what we got to understand, because
Exactly.
we are like, selling a product or whatever. You can, I'm telling you, come together as a team and ideas get the flow in. Man, it's nothing you can do. It's nothing you can. There's nothing can stop you from doing what you want to do. Okay, and God ordering your steps every day. I say that. So yeah. Mishi said, never heard of it, but I'm interested. Yes, sis. Okay, so I'm gonna send you the link, Angelina. I'm gonna send you the link as well, and so y'all can be on there at 6 p.m. And if anybody else wants to be on there, let me know as well. So that's it. I'm not gonna take no more of y'all time because we've been on here for a while, but I really appreciate y'all. I love y'all to life. Okay. And I pray abundant life over everybody, like for real, y'all. But we'll be back next week at 7:30 p.m. with another topic. I'm not sure what it's gonna be. Okay, Phoebe says send it to you. Okay, I got you, love. I got y'all. Seriously. Not sure what it's gonna be, but I do want to get with Phoebe. I will be talking to her soon. This Latonya introduced her to us. Love you too, sis. And I'll be getting with you soon about a topic we want to do and touch on. But yeah, we got some stuff we gonna do. Okay. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of topics, a lot of deep things y'all gonna put. I want y'all to put y'all caps on, like for real, and go a little deep with us a little bit. Not that far, but yeah. But yeah. So love y'all. Angelina said love y'all too. Traveling for work next week. So I may not be on, but I'll catch up. Okay, absolutely no problem, love. We know. We understand. So again, I'm gonna let y'all go. I'll be talking all night. We love y'all with the love of Christ. We love y'all, and there is nothing y'all can do about it. Until next time we meet again, have a blessed night. Bye bye.